Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be installing the Tireminder TPMS system. It's got the booster. We're already charging the controller. We're going to be using 6 sensors today. The Tireminder comes with this kind of power outlet. You see it just converts it to USB. And I'm trying to put these in there where it has USB-C and USB-A. On a E450 chassis. It's going to be a Coachman Leprechaun 311 FS. This is only our second video working on the motorhome. The first video we added a 30 amp outlet to the side of the house. Keep this thing charged up over winter. But now it's spring, so we got to get this thing ready to hit the road. On these, it did come with 12 batteries. I've already installed them. It's pretty easy to do. You just unscrew it, put the batteries in. I think it goes flat side up, positive up. Tighten them down, make sure the O-ring's in there. So all these have the batteries already. You can see the actual receiver is going to run off of 5 volts, so it's going to use a USB. And then the actual signal booster is going to run off 12 volts, so we'll figure out a way to get this in here. And the tires are going to be Hankook Dynapro HT, 80 PSI cold. So we're going to go ahead and top these tires off first. Alright, right now I'm hooked up to the inside tire. It's only reading 54 pounds. So that's a good reason to get this TPMS, because you gotta monitor these tires. You don't want to blow out on the road. Even though it says 80, we're gonna set it to 75. On a lot of these pumps are gonna be a momentary switch where you have to hold it down. Maybe just put a piece of rubber in here. And it says 74.5. We're gonna go with that. Alright, I really couldn't fit my hand in there, so we're gonna have to do something else. You can see these holes are a little bit bigger than these holes, so you got a little bit more room to work. Definitely take your wheel caps off. Alright, so we're connected to the outside tire. We're going to do the same thing to all 6 tires, fill them up to 75. So right now those tires are still filling up. What I want to do is remove this dash panel, get access to the back of these 2 power outlets and change them out. I think you just pull right here. And I used to have this really cool job before Best Buy stole all of our work. Be gentle with it. Oh, we got another tire full. Oh, we managed to get one of these out. Gotta squeeze right here and right here. Constantly on, so constant power without ignition or accessory. Alright, so both these are constant power. Yeah, they pop right off now. It's like a little vacuum manifold. So I did end up filling up all the tires to 75 PSI. We're just gonna hit on here, then it says to hold left and right button for 5 seconds, and then you got the upper left blinking. I don't know if you can see that. I think if you go right and left, it'll show you which tire you're working on. This valve is going to go to the inside tire on the right side. We'll probably put the inside tire right here, so we'll probably go front tire, inside tire, outside tire, keep them all separate. So we're just going to put the locking nut on first. Right there. And then we're going to screw the sensor in. See what happens. And it's reading 76. So it's pretty accurate. It does come with a little specialty tool to tighten this up. So just tighten it up by hand. Just make sure you throw this in the glove box. This one's going to be a little bit tougher. So on the screen, we're going to scroll to this position. Okay, I'm going to have to use 2 hands to start this one. Don't drop it. And right when you can hear air coming out. Right when it gets tight. It's already showing. Alright, so I got this tool bent up in almost straight. We're definitely tight enough. Alright, so we got the outside rear, the inside rear, now we got the front right flashing. 75. Nice. And I'm all the way in the garage, about 50 feet away. Everything's still reading. Still gotta throw those 3 on the left side. No booster hooked up. Alright, we got everything learned. It says hold left and right. 5 seconds. Go into monitoring mode. Monitoring. You can see this side's a little bit higher because that's the side that's the sun's hitting the tires. From monitor mode, press and hold the center button for 5 seconds to see the P. Now this tire's blinking, we're going to set them all to about 77. It's kind of like springtime right now. I think in summer they're all going to run around 77 degrees. Press and release the center button to go to the next tire. Go up to 77. Press and hold the center button for 5 seconds into monitoring mode. Alright, I turn the page and it says setup complete. So all the alerts are going to be automatic from here on out. These are the actual tire pressures. 77 is the baseline pressure. So I think all we got to do now is install the booster. That's how you do it. So I did think about washing these off first, but not on this video. We're just going to get her done. And this whole thing should be a positive bus bar. See, both rows are positive. So because we have a whole bunch of opens on here, I'm going to put a terminal on here and ground probably onto the chassis. So we have about a 20-foot run of 18 gauge marine wire. So it's going to be copper, this tin. I'm just going to push it up through this hole. There it is. Give it a tug test. So I feel like that positive's on there really good. Let me check the rest of them while we're in here. Right, so this is where the positive wire comes out. It's going to be the negative. Just going to crimp it down and shrink it down. On the grounding, you could go to the main frame. You see there's already a main ground here onto this like little subframe piece. So I want to try to keep the grounds together. So I'm just going to grind a little bit right here, get rid of some of the coating. And before we put the terminal in, we're just going to drill it in first. Make sure we got a good hole. Alright, now we're going to put our ground wire in. And that should be a good ground. We've got a green light. So we see the booster's working fine. We don't want to rely on these spring-loaded clips, so we're going to put some little fittings on here, some terminals, and connect this the right way. Alright, we put a little bit of electrical tape just to help waterproof it. Over this part of the frame, it's a zip tied all the way. And there she is. And this is how we're looking at night. A green spotlight on the ground. We're gonna have to do something about that. So I've got the dash torn apart. We're gonna be using a 1 1/8 bit. See, it fits pretty good on here. It's gonna be the same bit I used to put all these in. You see that's drilled into aluminum. And then these ones are in fiberglass. You see this one doesn't have the on and off switch or the USB-C. And this one has the on and off with the USB-C. So you probably get the one with the on and off switch. And this is where that cigarette lighter plug was. It looks like you can just break these tabs off. Possibly, or cut them off. And then test the USB on there. Okay, so that hole's gonna be good. And remember this one was a blank. I don't know how dangerous this is gonna be. Oh, that was actually really easy. Alright, so no more blank spot on here. We're probably gonna leave this one the way it is, just for, you just never know. So this plug's gonna go bye-bye. Alright, just remember this is constant power. I'm planning on never using this plug again, so I'm gonna cut it close. Remember that's gonna be positive. And these are live all the time, so don't let these two connect or touch each other. This is gonna be the coin holder and a little pocket. There's a plug here. I'm not sure exactly what it used to go to or what it could go to. Is we're gonna put the power cord for the screen. Let's go ahead and do that while I've got the dash off. I'm probably gonna put it on this side so I don't have to look at it. And the reason I chose right here is because this little piece is replaceable. It's gonna be the actual cord for it. I cut off the power plug. Just have bare wire. I'm gonna run it through here. I got a little pigtail. Put the white on the negative. I hope that's right. I didn't even test this yet. So we're gonna say red's positive. Alright, and it's gonna be the USB ends. I already did crimp this together. I'm gonna go ahead and crimp the positive side first. Just so we don't gotta worry about these two touching each other and blowing a fuse. Now, I think this wire is going to be, this fuse is a 10 amp. And with the screen and both USBs maxed out, you might be at 4 amps. So this should be good. It should be safe. It's a little bit tight in here. We're probably not going to heat these ones up and shrink them down. I think there's no need for it. Tuck test. Looking good. And on these USBs, they do come with the inline fuse. Gotta make sure these don't touch either. I didn't even look, but it might be like a 3 amp fuse. Alright, we're on 11.9. It's kind of low. I still don't get what's going on. The RV's plugged in. So I'm gonna say these gauges aren't too accurate, but they're probably within 0.1. I'm gonna test the 12 volt outlet. And the hole's small enough where this can't. Okay, so it's showing power. So we're probably gonna end up putting it, I'm not sure if I'm gonna go up here yet or right here. Main thing is it works. So I'm just gonna unplug it. Alright, so now I've got 3 kinds of power. I've got 12 volt pigtail, I have regular power outlet, USB-Cs, USB-As, and these can be turned off. It kind of still looks like I've got some battery issues, 11.2, 11.7. Let's go ahead and try to start it. It might start, it might not. Alright, so it did start. Let's see if it's charging. Let me unplug the phone. Oh yeah, she's cold. This is where all the magic happens. So we're probably gonna do that Tireminder's on at all times. So I did get a switch. It was about 10 bucks off Amazon, and it should match the other switches. It's the same size for sure. Probably gonna mount it somewhere around here so we can turn the Tireminder off and on. Okay, so we're gonna see how the switch works. I'm gonna put it on continuity. So anytime these are touching, it lets you know the switch is connected. So we're gonna hit this one and this one. So right now it's on. It's in on position. Now it's in off position. So on's gonna be terminals down. See, there's a space for another terminal. As long as we keep these terminals facing down, that'll be on. Alright, so this is kind of our little estimate. It looks like it's gonna clear pretty good. I might go a little bit wider. Alright, we're gonna use a jigsaw for this. I left my multi-tool at another job. I think the jigsaw can do the job. Let's see. It's gonna be plugged in too. And you know what? While we're in here, might as well add another USB. Oh, it's on hammer. Oh yeah. Make sure the cover fits. Press and press. Alright, these are the wires that come with the USB. Remember, there is an inline fuse. We're backtracking. This is the positive that goes to the battery we connected earlier. We're gonna have to cut it, put it on the switch. And then this is a grommet that goes into that compartment. See if we can get it up there. Strip this wire. Remember, this is gonna be hot at all times. It's gonna be the wire that goes to the USB. I'm gonna cut it. Go ahead and strip it back. Give it a good crimp. And we're not going to heat shrink this one. Alright, so through this grommet, we're going to be pushing another piece of 18-2 marine wire. Hopefully we can get up there pretty easy. This is going to be the original ground going to the tire booster. Or Tireminder booster. Yeah, this turned into a whole bunch of extra work, but I think it's going to be worth it because we're going to have an on and off switch for the booster. We're going to melt this one. It is under the chassis. Water's going to be splashing up in here. Alright, so we got ground going to the USB. We got red. This is gonna be the return red going to the Tireminder booster, and this is gonna be the red feed. This is gonna be the ground wire that we actually pushed up through the grommet that's connected to the chassis and the Tireminder, the ground for the booster. It's gonna go to the USB, and this red wire goes to the actual booster. We're gonna put it on one side of the switch. So that's a really good tight connection. And here we're gonna split this after the fuse. So the Tireminder booster is gonna have a fuse on it. Alright, and that's a really tight fit. So both those connections are very tight. It is 18 through 22 gauge. Crimp it on. And crimp this one on. Okay, so we got the fuse coming straight from the battery, going into the USB, going into the switch, going out the switch to the Tireminder, ground coming from the chassis into the USB, and down there we have the connection that goes to the Tireminder. So honestly, there's probably a lot of different ways to do this. You see there's a ground wire right here. There's a couple positives, 12 volt around here, but I'm trying to keep this where this just goes to the battery bus bar for the positive, and this goes to the chassis. That way it's not interfering, or I'm not cutting into any of these wires. So right now I think I got you under the chassis, and I'm gonna go ahead and hit the switch, see what happens. Oh, get under here. Oh yeah, we're good to go. Put a little bit of alcohol in here. Let's see what we got. And 91%. Wipe it down. It's a peeling stick. It's gonna come with a suction cup mount. You just gotta have it up, push it down, stick it. So we're gonna go right in the middle, push it down, stick it, bring this down. All right, so that took a little bit under a minute, but it did pick up all the sensors. All right, we got it done. Up's gonna be Tireminder booster on. Got the USB back here. You can turn off and on. Doesn't affect the Tireminder booster at all. Matches the other switches. And up here we got the USBs going. USB-C, USB-A. You can turn them off. We ended up fixing that mirror. It just ended up being a strip bolt. Just tighten it up with a special Torx bit. Up here, see the pressures are 75 and 76, and that's what we filled it up to, so we're looking good. We're fully charged. If you want to charge it, it does come off. Plug it in here. And we don't have to use any of these things. Alright, we're one step closer to hitting the road. Still got the cameras to put in, side cameras, 2 backup cameras, screen. I think we got an oil change left, mirror's good, Tireminder's good. Alright, hopefully I catch you on the next one. One, two, three, 4, 5.